Hi guys, welcome to another craft time with Miss Sarah. Today is a snowflake craft, so I'm going to be showing you how to make two kinds of snowflakes. The first one are these fun paper snowflakes, and these are really fun and easy to make. You can make all kinds of different shapes, so I'm going to be showing you how to do that. And the second one are these fun Q-tip snowflakes. I'm going to be showing you how to make those as well. So let me go over everything you're going to need for these crafts, and then I'm going to show you each one. So for the paper snowflakes, the first one, pretty much all you're going to need is paper, right? And it doesn't matter if it has lines, if it's plain paper, construction paper, or lined paper, all paper works, okay? So you'll need a piece of paper. You're going to need something to color with, right? And of course, you're going to need a very good pair of scissors, right? And then if you wanted to hang them around your house, you might want some type of string. I happen to have this metallic ribbon, so I have it in silver and gold, but you can use whatever you have. You can even use your old shoelaces if you want, doesn't matter. So that's all we need for the paper snowflakes. Now, for the Q-tip snowflakes, of course, you're going to need some Q-tips. I brought some of mine from home. You're going to need glue, and I recommend the liquid kind of glue. I like to use glue sticks a lot, but I really recommend this liquid kind of glue for this one, so it can really grab onto that Q-tip, okay, or that ear cleaner swab. And then for this one, you're going to need a piece of construction paper. If you don't have construction paper and you just have regular paper or lined paper, that will work just fine. You might want to consider coloring it though, just to give the cotton swab a little bit of a background color, because the cotton swab is white. So if your paper is white too, your cotton swab isn't going to show up really strong. And right now, because we are coming into this winter season, of course, I'm kind of partial to this blue color. So I'm really kind of liking that, okay? And then also, if you want to decorate your Q-tip snowflakes, which you do not have to, but if you want to, I also would recommend getting some glitter glue. I have my little pack here. This is pretty inexpensive. I got it, I can't remember if I got it at like Walmart or Target, but anyway, they don't cost very much if you don't already have them, or if you have some of this regular liquid glue and just some glitter around the house, or you can even cut up pieces of ribbon. If you have this metallic ribbon and make your own glitter, you can cut it up really small, and that can become glitter as well. And you can kind of sprinkle that if you want on your snowflakes. So, all right, that's everything you're gonna need. And the last thing is actually the most important thing, which is some newspaper or a little disposable tablecloth, something to protect the surface that you're working on, okay? Because you definitely do not want to cover mom's table with some glitter glue or regular glue, because that takes a little bit to clean it off, right? So we want to be helping out our parents this season by protecting the surfaces that we work on always, okay? And if you want, you could wear a little apron just to kind of protect your clothes, because the glitter glue will stain, okay? And if you're using markers instead of crayons, sometimes those will stain your clothes too. So if you want to, you can wear an apron, but if not, just make sure you're extra careful not to get any of that on your clothing, okay? All right, you guys, so I'm going to go ahead and get started with the paper snowflakes. I'll show you how to make those. So go ahead and get your supplies, and I'm going to meet you just a moment in the next segment. Hi guys, welcome to this next segment. So for this first snowflake, we're going to start with just our plain piece of paper here. Now, if you have construction paper or colored paper, that's going to work just fine as well. As you can see, I don't. I just have this plain white piece of paper. So I want to have a little bit of color on mine. So what I'm going to do is first I'm going to start by folding it. So I'm going to fold it, I'm going to have it lengthwise, and I'm going to fold this edge to this edge. So fold it in half. Okay, so you should have something that looks like this. Now we're gonna fold it down. We're gonna fold it again. Okay, perfect. So then when you unfold it, you should have 4 quadrants. You can see those 4 spaces. We made nice lines. We're gonna use those lines as guides with our scissors. So we're gonna go ahead and cut right along those lines. And don't worry if you don't get it exact, because trust me, it's not gonna matter for this craft. Okay, it's okay if it's a little wobbly or not exactly perfect. It's actually better. It doesn't even matter. All that I'm interested in is making sure that you have 4 pieces of paper. All right, perfect. So I'm gonna get started with the first piece. So you should have 4. I'm just gonna select one of my pieces. Now for this snowflake, I think I want it to be kind of a bluey purple color. So I'm gonna start with my blue crayon, and I'm just gonna color it. You can do both sides if you want, or you can just do one side, whatever you want to do. For the purpose of this demo, I'm just gonna kind of color it haphazardly, but if you wanted to be more intentional with your color, you can do that. You can color it, you can press harder, make it really, really dark. I mean, whatever you want to do. It is your snowflake, so you make it look however you want. Now, I'm gonna add a little bit of purple. If you've been watching my videos for a while, then you know my favorite color is purple. So definitely have to have purple. And because we're coming into this winter season, I'm really partial to blue lately. So definitely want to get some purple in there with my blue. All right, I think that looks pretty cool. So you should have something that looks kind of like that if you're copying me. Now remember, you can make it any color you want. If you want to have red and green snowflakes for Christmas time, you're welcome to do that. Whatever you want to do, okay? So I've got my awesome color paper here. What I'm going to do is fold it over. So I'm kind of copying what I did before. Fold it again. Okay, and this corner is going to end up being the center of your snowflake, okay? So I am going to fold it one more time. This is my center corner, and I'm going to bring that edge down to here, right, to my center corner, and then make a crease like that. So holding my center corner, I'm going to use my scissors and round this off right there. There. So you should have something that looks kind of like that. Now you don't have to copy me. If you want to do something different once you get to this point, you can make it look however you want. That's just my starting point, okay? So from here, now comes the fun part. We can use our scissors to cut out shapes along both edges. So along this edge and this edge, you can cut out some shapes. I like to always hold my center corner with my fingers so that I remember where the center of my snowflake is. If you wanted to, you could round that off and cut it so that you have a hole in the center of your snowflake. Or you can leave it just like that. So I'm gonna start cutting. I like to cut actually little triangles along that. I think triangles are easy to cut. So basically you just make some curved lines like that, and then you've got a little cut into there. So I'm just going to be doing that along the edge here. Can cut the line angling in towards each other, and then you should be able to pull it. There you go, or it should just fall out on its own. So you see what I did there with my cut? You can see my cut, and then I'm just gonna pull that out. Oop, doesn't quite wanna come. Oh, there we go. All right, so now I've got that triangle, so I'm just gonna keep going, holding on to my center corner here. I'm gonna get my edge over here. So these are just really, really simple. All right. So there we go. We have what looks kind of like a dinosaur scale there. And then now, I think along here, I'm gonna make a big triangle cut along that edge. Just for fun. Just to see what it looks like. So now I have something that looks kind of like that. And then along this edge, I think I'm gonna make another triangle. And now comes my favorite part of this. So we're gonna scoot all of our little pieces out of the way. So now I've got it kind of cut out. I have this kind of funky shape going on. And my favorite part of this is the reveal. So that means we're gonna unfold it. So remember that the more cuts you make in the paper, the smaller your shape, and it becomes very delicate. So you want to be very, very careful when you're unfolding it. Okay, so I'm going to very carefully with my fingers unfold it there and there. And I'm not pulling very hard. I'm really trying to be very delicate because I don't want to pull it too hard and break my snowflake. And look at that shape! That's so cool! What a great shape! I love that. You can do all kinds of fun things with this. And if you want to, you can take your ribbon, cut a piece of ribbon, thread it through here, and then hang it so that it can be hanging around your house. Isn't that neat? Now, if you don't like these bends, you can set it flat like this, and then put some books, some heavy books on top of it. Some heavy books, something flat and heavy is what you need. And leave it there for a couple of hours, and usually that will flatten it out for you. Okay, so there's my snowflake. Awesome. So there's one. And now you have 3 more pieces of paper, so it's really up to you how you want to cut them. You don't have to do that the same way. You can take your next piece of paper. I think I'll just leave this one white for fun. And then fold it over. You're going to do the same thing that we did before, where you're just folding and folding and folding. And fold it again. And now for this one, I know that this is going to be my center corner where I have my thumb. So I can take my scissors and make a rounded off shape, or whatever shape I want, really. Okay, so I have kind of what may turn out to be kind of a circular shape there. You can make like a crescent shape if you want. If you want, you can use your crayon to draw the line and then cut it, however you want to do it. I like to just kind of eyeball it because I don't like it to be perfect. I like it to be kind of off center, kind of different. That's just me. And now you can cut any kind of shapes that you want in there. Now remember, wherever you cut in and pull out, it's going to make a hole in your snowflake. Okay? So that's the fun part of this, is that you can make it look however you want. So I think this time I might make some little wavy lines. Maybe I'm gonna have some little lines that kind of wiggle around. Make some kind of wiggly lines. Something that looks kind of like that. Maybe I'll make another one. Kind of meets that one. Use my scissors to kind of cut in there. And it doesn't have to be like exactly like mine. If you want it to look totally different, you can make it look totally different. Remember, this is your snowflake. It looks however you want it to look. Okay? And then we can make another little wavy line, because why not? Pull it out of there. Maybe make one more little wavy line. I don't know. Just something fun. Pull that out of there. And then this is going to be my center corner, so I'm just going to cut it straight across. Ooh, so now I'm going to have a little hole in the middle of my snowflake. Pretty cool, right? And then I'm going to round off this edge. So I'm going to make little scallops here. I'm going to say, whoop, make a little bump, bring it in, and then take it back out and make another little bump. And then make another little bump. Kind of making little semicircles, sort of. All the way so that I have that kind of scalloped edge going on. And again, I just eyeball it. I don't try to make it perfect because I kind of like the uniqueness of it. So now I have this fun little shape. Let's open it up and see what it looks like. Gonna do it really, really delicately because we absolutely do not want to hurt our snowflake and pull the paper too hard. All right, look at that. There's another fun snowflake. You know, this one, I don't know why, but with the stripes, it just makes me think of a tiger. Kind of looks like a tiger to me. Kind of cool. And I cut off that corner so I have that really fun hole in the middle. Isn't that neat? Wow. So that's pretty much how you make your paper snowflakes. You can make them look however you want. You can color the paper and then just fold it in fours. I showed you 2 ways that you can fold to do that. And you just cut them out. And then from there you can hang them up. And I really like coloring them because I think that it's neat to have that, that kind of depth to them. And I really like having that color. But if you want to tape them in your window or something, they'll look really pretty if you want to leave them just white. And again, to flatten them out, just put something heavy and flat on top of them for a few hours, and that'll usually take these crease lines out. All right, you guys, awesome! So you should have 2 more pieces of paper left over after this, and I want to see you make your own designs, right? Cut out your own snowflakes and then send them to me. I want to see. Put them in the comments. I love seeing your guys' work. All right, so now let's switch gears a little bit here, and we're going to be working on the Q-tip snowflakes. So I'm going to set that one aside. So for this one, we're going to need our blue paper, okay? So with our blue paper, we're going to do the same thing that we did with the white paper. We're going to fold it in half. Oop, try to match up your corners if you can. I don't know why I'm struggling with that today. All right, and then bring it and fold it again. So we're making quadrants. We're making 4 sections, 4 square or rectangle shaped quadrants, okay? There we go. So you should have your fold, and that's going to be what we use with our scissors to cut along those lines. And again, I really like using construction paper for this one for 2 reasons. One, because it already gives me a background color, so I don't have to color the background. And 2, because construction paper is just a little bit thicker than regular paper, so it really gives a little bit of a stronger backing to your snowflake. But if you don't have construction paper, regular paper will work just fine. Okay. All right, so now you should have 4 of these, right? You've got your 3 and 4, so we're gonna take 1. And for this, we're gonna get out our Q-tips. So I have found that I like to use probably about 4 of these to start with. Just to get about 4 is what you'll need for this one. And what I have found is that I don't have to cut the Q-tip all the way through. What I can do is just use the scissors to make an indentation, and then I can actually break it, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna do is take 2 Q-tips, and I'm gonna cut them right in the center. So I'm gonna get my scissors right about where I think the center is, press just a little bit so that I have just that little bit of an indentation. I don't know if you can see that, and then I'm gonna hold it and just break it the rest of the way. Move it front, move it back, and it'll just come right apart for you. Okay. I'm gonna do the same thing with the second toothpick. I'm gonna get my scissors and put it about center in the Q-tip. If you don't get it exactly right, it's not the end of the world. Just press a little bit with your scissors just so you make that, you know, little bit of a mark, and then just bend it. Bend it forward, bend it back, and it comes right apart. Okay, so that's gonna be the main part of my snowflake, okay? So what I'm gonna do is get my glue. You're gonna need your liquid glue for this. And I'm gonna start with kind of an X shape. So I'm going to first make 1 line going all the way across. And it's okay if you end up putting more glue than what you need. It's actually better. You really want to put a lot for this. because you really want to be sure that the Q-tip really grabs the paper. So it's okay if you have a little bit more. The best thing about this liquid glue is that if you happen to get some on your fingers, you can just rub it like this, and it usually will make like a little ball and come right off. That's the other thing. That's the other reason why I really like working with liquid glue. It holds stronger, but also it cleans up a lot quicker from your fingers. Okay, so there's 1 and 2. I'm just gonna kind of, you don't have to make them touch, but you can if you want. I like to leave a little bit of space in between them. So you can see I don't actually have them touching in the middle. I have a little bit of space between them. There's a reason for that, and I'll show you what it is in a little bit. Okay, so there's that. Now, to make the shape, oh, I gotta do the other side, haha. So now coming from the center, we're gonna have that come out. And I like to really grab it from the cotton part when I'm putting it down, because otherwise you're for sure probably gonna get glue on your fingers, and it just makes it easier if you use the cotton part to grab. And then I'm gonna do the same thing with this coming out. Opposite direction. So I'm just making like an X shape. Holding it from the cotton swab and setting it down. And don't worry if when you get it on here, some of these stick out a little bit further than the others. Does not matter. I promise you it's going to dry and look fabulous, okay? So you should have something that looks kind of like that right now. All right. Next, I want to make the little spikes that stick out from the center for my snowflake. And to do that, obviously, I don't need my Q-tip the full length. And if I cut it in half, then it's going to be exactly the same length as that. So I'm going to want it a little bit shorter. So for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut it closer to the actual swab end. So once again, though, I'm going to get my scissors, and right about at the base of the swab end, maybe just a little bit in, I'm going to make that indentation. And then I'm just, with my scissors, and then I'm just going to pull it forward and back, and you can kind of twist it too, and it's going to come right off. So there's my little piece. I'm going to make that one. So I'm going to need 2 more Q-tips for this. And then going in, just a little bit in from the swab. And again, it's okay if it's not perfect. I'm not worried about perfection. I want uniqueness. I want character. And to get that, you can't always have it perfect, right? I'm going to set that little stick. You should have this little stick. Just set that aside. Now for my second Q-tip, I'm going to do the same thing as I did for the first one. And just a little bit in from the start of the swab. I'm going to make an indentation with my scissors. Move it forward, move it back, kind of twist, and there I go. Got my little piece there. Same thing on the other end. A little bit in from the swab. Make that indentation. You guys are going to be pros at this by the end of this. All right, and then now I've got my next little piece. So I've got a little stick left over. I'm just going to set that aside. All right, so now you should have your 4 little swab pieces. Perfect. And those are going to be the little spokes, so to speak, coming out of your little spikes coming out of your snowflake. So I'm going to start in the center, and I'm just going to glue up right there. And don't worry if your glue flops over to the side like mine does. No big deal. This particular liquid glue dries nice and clear. That's the other reason that I like it. So I've got that. And you do want to kind of press your cotton swab into the glue, and your stick, if you can, kind of just press it into the glue, because you want to be sure that it grabs, that it really is going to hold it there. And again, don't worry if it doesn't look like it's exactly even coming all the way around. No big deal. I actually like it better, to tell you the truth, when it is uneven, because it has characteristics. And that makes it unique and special. And you know, when snowflakes fall, no 2 snowflakes are the same. Did you know that? There might be like millions of snowflakes falling all over the world every year. And if you were to collect all of them and try to catalog them, you would never find 2 that were exactly the same. Did you know that? It's true. So snowflakes are unique and special, and your craft will be unique and special. There we go. So then you'll just put that on there, going all the way around, and you should have something that looks like that. Isn't that great? What a great idea. What a great snowflake. I love that. Isn't that amazing? Okay. Now, to decorate it a little bit more, what you can do, and what I like to do, is use some glitter glue. So if you don't have glitter glue, you can actually just use more of this regular glue, put a big dollop on there and then sprinkle some glitter. Or, like I said, if you don't have glitter, you can take some of this metallic ribbon or whatever kind of curling ribbon or regular ribbon that you have, cut it up really small, and that can become your glitter. Okay, and it's okay if it's kind of big, doesn't matter, doesn't matter. So what I like to do is kind of highlight the middle and the center. So that's why in the center, I wanted you to leave a little bit of room there. So we're gonna color where all the little sticks meet with this glitter glue. And today, I'm just gonna use the silver because I like the sparkliness of it. And it's been a little while since I've used these. So I'm just gonna put a nice big dollop right there in the center. And then I'm gonna highlight the little tips of these. So I'm just gonna put a little bit here, little bit. And this is gonna dry nice and sparkly. This particular one is a clear glue base with infused with this silver glitter. So this one is gonna dry clear and it's just gonna be like silver sparkles. Some of the other colored glitter glue is gonna dry in the color of the glue and then also be sparkly. So for example, this blue, which I'll probably use in a minute, is gonna dry actually in a bit of a blue color because the glue itself is actually blue and then it has that blue sparkle to it. So you can play around with this. If you don't wanna use silver, you wanna use red or green or blue or whatever other color. If you have gold, that works too. All right, so I've got my fun sparkle snowflake, and what I'm gonna do is let this dry. Okay, and the drying is gonna take at least an hour, maybe longer, but at least an hour. So I'm gonna set this aside. Now I happen to have one that I made earlier. I made this roughly almost about an hour ago, and you can see the glue has that kind of dark stain color because the paper is gonna be kind of stained from it, and that's okay, but the glue itself is mostly dry. I'm gonna be really careful with it because I'm not sure how dry it is for sure. And what I'm gonna do for this one is what you wanna do is just cut it out. So I'm going to very carefully just kind of cut a circle around it. And I'm gonna leave kind of a little bit, I'm gonna make it kind of a whitish circle because I wanna make sure that I can hang it if I want. So you're really just gonna be rounding off the corners of your paper. And again, don't worry if it ends up being kind of like a weird shape or something. It doesn't matter. I love it actually if it's not perfect, I'm telling you. The perfection? No thanks. I want character and uniqueness every time. I will always choose that. There are no mistakes. There are only happy accidents. That's what I think. That is my philosophy. So there I go. Now I've got a nice little circle going around my snowflake. I love that. And this can now become an ornament or some type of something that I can hang. So what you would want to do at this point is use a hole punch right here for your string. Now if you do not have a hole punch, like I don't have one right now, I'm going to show you what you can do. You're going to take the paper where you want to punch the hole, fold it down. It's okay if it makes a little bit of a crease. You're going to fold it over like this. And then just like how we were cutting triangles into our paper snowflakes, we're going to cut a triangle into this cut right here. So you've got your paper folded down, got your scissors, and you're just going to cut a very small triangle. See right there where I cut my very small triangle, and then I'm just gonna pull it out. So you should have something that looks like that. have that nice little cut in there. And that's all you need. And then when you unfold your flap, you're gonna have a nice little hole that you can now use. Okay? It doesn't matter if it's not even, it doesn't matter. You just need something that you can use to hang it up, right? And then from there you can cut your piece of ribbon. I used silver on this snowflake, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and use a silver piece of ribbon, because why not? And this is probably the easiest part of the whole thing, honestly. You'll just tie that through, or push that through the hole. Woo, woo, woo. So you've got it there, and then just tie it. And for this, you might want to have a grown-up help you, because the tying part is not very easy. I just tie it once, and then I like to tie it a second time, just to be sure it's how I want it. This metallic ribbon is a little bit more difficult to work with, apparently. I have just discovered that. All right, and I'm actually gonna wait until that's drier because that is so slick. I'm so worried I'm gonna get it on my glue. So you can thread it through and tie it yourself when it's dry. I'm gonna wait because that is very, very slick on my fingers, and I'm just afraid I'm gonna drop my ribbon and get it on mess up my glue on my snowflake. So that's basically how you make these little snowflake guys. Now, I do have one other way that I want to show you on this. Remember earlier when we had cut our snowflakes and we had just the sticks left over, right? We had just these two little sticks left over. You can use these also. So I'm going to put those aside, and I'm going to get another two out. Another two Q-tips here. And what we're going to do this time is cut, oops, my sticks are rolling away. We're going to do the same thing that we did before where we made the cut kind of close to where the start of the swab is. So I'm just going to indent. I'm going to put it I'm going to try to get it right at the base of the swab where the cotton bulge swabby part starts, okay? So I'll put that right there. I'm gonna do that on this side as well. Indentation. Okay, so now I have my cotton swab part and I have my stick part. So I'm gonna put my stick aside. And then I'm gonna need at least one more stick. So I need my cotton swab. Cut it kind of at the base there, close to the base of the swab. Bend it forward, bend it back, and twist. And then I'm gonna take this one, make an indentation, bend it forward, bend it back, twist, and then I've got another stick and another swab. So that works out kind of perfect because now I have my 4 sticks and I have my 4 swabs, right? And pretty much that's the base of every snowflake for the Q-tips. You're gonna want four somethings, a segment for the top, and bottom, and then you want spokes coming out. So that's pretty much the basic design. Okay, so for this one, we're gonna use the sticks first. And for this one, I'm gonna do a straight up and down sign. I think I'm gonna do like a plus sign. So I'm gonna have that come right there. Now for this one, you probably are gonna get a little bit of glue on you. So what you can do is set it next to where you have the glue and then just with your finger roll it into the glue. That's what I'm doing. That makes it easier because then you're not getting it all over your fingers when you try to press it in there. So make your next line of glue, set it next to where you have the glue, and then just kind of roll it in there. And actually you can also see, like I just did, if you don't have enough glue or you didn't make the line long enough, it's kind of easy to catch that. So set it next to there and then just roll it into the glue. All right, next side, I'm gonna make my next line coming straight out. Again, we're making like a plus sign. right here, and then I'm just gonna roll it into the glue right there. Kind of perfect. Okay, next side, coming straight out, put it next to it, and then just roll it right in there. And if you need to, you can adjust it. If it's not exactly straight or not quite the shape that you want, you can fix it. But remember, you can leave it also. I love happy accidents. Happy accidents are the best accidents. Now for this one, we're gonna be using the little cotton swab so you can hold on to the cotton edge of the swab as you put these in there, and that makes it a little easier. So we're gonna make our little spokes coming out from the center. We'll do 2 at a time just to make it a little bit quicker. Holding on to my cotton end there, I'm gonna set that right down into the glue, and I'm just gonna press on the cotton part because I wanna be sure that the cotton part really grabs. And press, yeah. And then I'll do the bottom. That coming out. And have the next one, get it in there to the center and just press. All right, so now you should have something that looks kind of like that, and I love that shape too. Isn't that neat? So for this one, what I'm gonna do is, I think I'm gonna use this blue color. I'm kind of partial to this blue color right now. I think it's the season. So I'm gonna use my glitter glue and I'm gonna highlight once again the center and my edges. So I'm gonna just put a nice big glob in the center because I think that looks so pretty. And then for the edges, I'm gonna kind of try to cover them with a big kind of glob of the stick, because the stick, if you just put it on the stick, it's gonna kind of go off to the side. That's what I noticed in my example. So I really wanna put kind of a big dollop or glob of glue there just to kind of really hold it, just a little extra. Now for the cotton swabs, I'm just going to put little dots. I just need little dots, like barely, hardly, just a little hello. Just like a little hello, hardly any, no big deal. Hello. And lastly, oops, lastly, a little hello. Kind of perfect. All right, that looks pretty awesome. And there is my completed one of that. So very similar to that, I do have one that I already made. You can see that here, and you can also see in my example what happened to my glitter glue. So you might want to take a caution from me. Make sure you put a big dollop on the ends there because mine just kind of fell off. So just like the other one, you're gonna cut around it and then you can thread your string through there and hang it, and then you have something that you can hang, right? Really, really cool, some ornaments. Now, I remember that when we cut this, we cut 4 quadrants, right? So you should have 2 more. So that means that you can take some Q-tips and decide whatever you want to do for your shape, okay? You can even, if you wanted to, I'm just going to give you some ideas. You could even cut the Q-tip, just the swab part, and have that coming across, going this way even, make a separate shape. Whatever you want to do. But this is the basic shape of every Q-tip snowflake that I've made. So I kind of like that. I don't really think I have a favorite, but I kind of think they came out pretty good, all right? So that's my snowflake craft, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I just want to adjust my camera there. Thank you so much for joining me for this awesome snowflake craft. If you make some, please, please, please show me in the comments. I absolutely love to see your guys' artwork. You always come up with the most amazing things, right? And yeah, so I can't wait to see your paper snowflakes, Yeah, and I can't wait to see your Q-tip snowflakes or your cotton swab snowflakes. So feel free to send those to me in the comments and have a fun and wintry season. I love it. Hang them up in your house. Give them to someone as a gift, as a little I love you. You know, spread the love, spread the joy. It's the great winter season, so stay warm and stay safe, and I'll see you soon with another fun craft. Bye, guys.